Another instalment of El Bastardo. Right, short story of this is Mr. Thurston, Polar Bear to you lot. Right, before we get into that, let me just message from Mr. Polar Bear, as you call him. I don't call him Polar Bear. I call him quite a few things, and Polar Bear ain't one of them. Usually just mate. He is doing fine. He just has lost interest with YouTube and videos. He still does trucks. He's mucking around with one today actually. We talk pretty much on a daily basis. He just sends me shitloads of pictures, which I like. Same as I send him shitloads of pictures and videos and God knows what else. But yep, so those of you who wanted to know, he is doing just fine. He just has no interest in doing videos or YouTube or anything at the moment. He's disheartened basically by the amount of crap that some people give on YouTube. We all get it. I mean, I don't get that many. I don't get that many views to worry about getting the idiots. He used to get quite a few views. Therefore, that attracts idiots who think they know everything and know better than someone who's been doing it for years and whatever. You meet these people in all walks of life. It's not just his hobby. You know, the experts. They know everything, but they've never done anything. Me, I just brush it off. When it happens, it don't happen very often to me, touch wood. But when it does, I just brush it off, delete them, block them, brush it off. I think just sad little twats who ain't got nothing better to do with their time. Or more than likely, in most cases, especially with him, I guess, jealousy. It doesn't bother me. It does bother him. It bothers some people. So, yeah, he's doing fine. He might come back one day. I wouldn't hold your breath, but you never know. Anyway, on with this. Speaking of Polar Bear, or Mr. Thurston, or Shitface as he is now today, this is all his fault. This lorry came about because of he was looking at his Mercedes Gigaspace Black Edition 4x2, if I remember rightly. I'm sure that's the lorry he was looking at. And he got it in his head and started measuring, and oh, Ian could put a steering axle on a 4x2. So he messaged me and we got talking, and he volunteered me to build a 6x2, I guess it is. And it's called that name because it was a right one to do. It's all, not all old, but most of it's old. The cab was old off of an old 1850 that turned into, it's still an 1850 I think. I don't know where it is. That's a good point. Where is it? Oh, it's down there. It's near a Scania cab on it, and it is the Lest We Forget truck. And I forgot. How apt. So that cab come off of there. This, I don't know if I bought this by accident or someone sent it to me or what. This Stone Guard, I think it is. Personally, I don't like them. But I thought, well, it's a Mercedes, I've got it, I'll stick it on here. I saw this bumper cover, toe hitch, whatever. I saw it on KK Truck Store. I thought, oh, that looks nice. Not seen one of them before, and it's unusual, so I got that to fit on here. Just makes it look a bit beefy at the front. It doesn't sit back, it's kind of on a slight angle for some reason. But there's only 2 screws, so it's not like it can go anywhere. Yeah, the main bit, again, KK Truck Store sliding 5th wheel. The interesting thing on here is the gearbox. It is, come on, I don't know if you can see it. If not, I'll get a closer shot because you can't see it properly. I can't remember the name of the company now. I'll have to look it up. But it's a gearbox that actually looks like a gearbox. It's single speed, and basically you can fit it anywhere because there's a bracket going across that you just screw into the top of the chassis. It's on the bottom actually, and it just screws into the chassis wherever you want. You just plonk it in. There's one at the back here, and there's one at the front somewhere. Oh no, it ain't. No, I lie. There's a couple of grooves in here. Where are we? In here. So it sits in the chassis rails. Then you screw this bit wherever you want to anchor it, and that's it. It does the job. It does the job nicely as well. I don't know if anyone's watched the actual video of this going around the garden, but it is a nice, it drives very nice. But I do like that gearbox. So cheap sand board in it, just because I had it laying around. As of most of my other ones that's been done in the last few years, all the liveries made up by myself. I saw that on something and thought it was apt. Caution, grumpy old git at the wheel. The underside is so normal drive axle, steering axle. This was the point we was trying to, or this is what made it hard to fit, because the original plan was to use a reefer trailer axle, the last one, which is steering. But me being me, I wanted to see if I could get an actual Tamiya steering axle in there rather than a reefer or trailer axle. So it is a same as the front. Took some work, but it's on there, and it does work. It's surprising actually how nice this thing drives and acts. It's just so most of it, apart from the front bumper, obviously a stone guard, but I don't know where that come from. This I had laying around because I had it off of something else. Can't remember what it was on, but I bought it for something else and then didn't use it. So I already had this. Aluminium rear lights, which I bought half a dozen sets because they was cheap a few years ago. So most of it I had laying around. I bought the gearbox a couple of years ago because I liked it but didn't know what to put it in. So that kind of went in here. It was just a loaded combination of stuff, like I say, old cab, everything. It was more an experiment that by keeping the original axle, original chassis, so this is the original 4x2 chassis. And then obviously drilling new holes and rejigging, could I actually get a steering axle? And the answer was yes. It did take quite a bit of work to do. But it's done, and it does drive. I think it drives quite nicely. But yeah, the story behind it, or the build behind it, is basically because 111 Polar Bear Timothy was looking at a 4x2 and decided I could build this truck. So that's how it come about. And it was a pain, and it was hard, and it was the steering servo for this axle is at the front. The steering axle for this axle, the steering servo for this axle is underneath the fifth wheel in there. So they're not linked. They are independent, but they're linked on a wire lead, which was even more difficult, threw up more problems, because if you put them both on the same wire lead, same settings and everything, obviously they're going to turn the same degree of angle, which you don't want. This one has to turn a hell of a lot less than this one. So where you place the bar and everything and also how short the steering horn is and all that. It's a lot of working out, a lot of fiddling, trial and error, but it does work. So that is the story behind El Bastardo. This lorry is a Bastardo, and it definitely was. Not really much else I can tell you about that then. I actually saw a picture on Google of a real one of these, and it was a power liner, hence why it's a power liner. It looked pretty much exactly the same as that, and I thought, well, there you go. I've got to do that because that's what it says it is. And that is the negative of that, if that kind of makes sense. So the bits that come out, so the letters that come out of here is usually what you use. You use when you weed the vinyl, you'd use the letters. You'd take this bit away, but because of this being black, I used the outline, but then the letters I stuck on just a bit of black background and put on the back. It works. It worked for me. So yeah, that's the story of the Bastador. Right, I think that's enough for this weekend. There's another one now I've got to do. There's one behind it to do. There's a lovely one here to do. Not doing that, not doing that. There's one up there to do. There's a lovely one there to do. One behind it to do. One at the back there to do. One there to do. So there's still... What we got? One. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's at least another 12 of this series, if you want them. I know one man that wants them, so they will probably get done anyway. But on that note, I'll see you on the next one.